Good evening and welcome to another episode of Apolitically Incorrect Guyana. My name is Kian Jabour and Happy New Year. I am back for another amazing year with our show here. So much has happened over the last couple of weeks. I am sorry that I couldn't be here for the last, I think it's about 3 weeks I missed, but that was due to the way the holidays fell. Christmas was on a weekend, New Year's was on a weekend, and honestly, as I said, I don't really like talking too much about politics, at least during those happy times, because politics is not particularly a happy topic. I know everybody was in a festive season. I hope everybody got some chance to spend some time with their families. And for those that didn't, I know that Christmas and New Year's can often be a tough time. For those that, don't look at it particularly as a happy time, I truly hope that the season still was able to bring you at least good memories of those people. Usually it's associated with people that are no longer around anymore, but hopefully it brought you some good memories of those people. And at the end of the day, I always try to tell myself, and I even tell my daughter, when it comes to me no longer being here and with her, always remember I just want her to be happy. And I know that your loved ones feel the same way. Always remember that. You may miss somebody and you may love somebody and want them around, but if you know that person well enough and that person loves you, the way that, family members love each other and important people to you, you want them to be happy. So I always tell her, don't worry about me. I am, happy where I am, and I want you to be happy now. So always remember that, try to have at least a positive outlook moving forward. 2024 is here and has started with a bang because we are going into budget day on Monday. That's going to be super exciting. This is the ruling government. The PPP is the ruling party in power at the moment, and this is their last budget before an election year. And just so you understand, election year has a bit of a different budget because, again, they have to cater for elections, and that political party obviously, may not be in power. So the budget ends up being a little bit different. Don't get me wrong. Money still needs to be spent, but, just how do I say this? Altered budget is put in place with elections being the priority. So this budget should be extremely interesting. We have some amazing statistics that have come out over the past couple of weeks, and I think the main one that we need to put up, I'm going to ask the operator to put up right away, I'll let you guys take a look too, is the IMF released their top 10 richest countries in the world per capita. It's just a little black point form notes that I had taken, but you're going to get to see that Guyana is number 10 on the list, and I think that is extremely great, good, but also a little bit worrying. And I'm going to have a nice little chat about that now while he brings it up. So Guyana right now is ranked up there with, Norway and Ireland and the United States and big countries. And what that GDP means is it's the amount of money that the country is earning per person, not that one. Well, it's there. Actually, you know what? Leave that. So let me just show my Instagram people. I'm sure this thing has a button. I found it. There you go. Okay. There is the figure. For all my Instagram people, I know you guys see it often. So as you can tell, Guyana is number 10 on the list with $78,000 US per capita. So that's earning capacity per person. That's how much the country's earning. Luxembourg, 145, Ireland, 143, Singapore, 138, Qatar is 118, UAE, 92. Anyways, going down the line. But here's what is the key here. I'm sorry, bear with me. With my shaking Instagram people. So if you look, the next column that I put in is the average salary per month of these countries. So the average salary, let's go down to the bottom because you don't want to compare to a country like Luxembourg that has double our GDP. But let's go down to the bottom. United States, for example, has 83,000 and Norway has 84,000. San Marino has 86,000. Now go across to the average monthly salaries and you're going to see 5,000 US for San Marino, 4,976 US for Norway, and United States has 6,228. So what's interesting about this to take note of is the fact that these countries are 5,000, 6,000, and 8,000 US dollars more per capita. But the salaries are hugely higher than ours. And I think that's one of the important factors here that need to be addressed. Okay, why is this important? Now, what this has to signify, what our GDP and our country growing has to signify, at the end of the day, is that the people are gaining, okay? You want to talk about progress and the roads being built and big buildings going up. My question will always be, are the people gaining from that? Are the masses of people, not the one or two friends and family, all right? Not the 1%ers, the ones that, are PPP affiliated and making sure that, they're giving the right kickbacks and being corrupt. I'm asking, are the people on the ground, is the average man gaining from that 78,000 US per person? Okay? That's what's key. Now, you're going to sit there and say, well, that's not, I posted it on Facebook. I had an amazing response from all the PPP economists that were telling me why the GDP has nothing to do with the average income of the citizens of the country. Now, as you just were able to tell from that chart that I put up, you can do a simple Google search, it's there. Those countries that are earning just a few thousand US more than us per capita are paying their people 500% more. Now, what does that signify to you? All right? It means that although the country is earning per capita as much as the US, Norway, and San Marino, we are not taking care of our people the same way. And I don't know how else to explain this to the economists that want to come up with all kinds of excuses as to why Guyanese need to suffer. Because that's all it boils back down to. If you really go through the little nitpicking on all the comments from all the PPP supporters as to why you're not an economist and you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to analyzing this data. Well, you're right, I'm not an economist. But what I can tell you from a simple Google search is that Guyanese are not earning enough money. The country's earning the money, but I guess it's just going to your friends and family, right? And you can come up with all your excuses, but they've been in there now for 4 years. 4 years, and the people are not feeling it, okay? Ask how great the business was for all of these people, all of these small and medium scale businesses during Christmas. You think it was booming? You think every business was raving? And everybody was like, wow, what an amazing Christmas. Look how much money was spent. Bullshit. No money was spent. Okay, I'm luckily in the real estate industry in Guyana. I'm in the food and beverage, something that, people tend to spend lots of money on. I spoke to all my counterparts in my industry. I spoke to supermarkets, okay? I tried to get as much information as I possibly could. And you know what the resounding sentiment was? Was that this is a slow Christmas. So you tell me how. I'd like to ask the operator to bring up today's news clip of, I think it's a 38% growth, 38% more growth is expected for Guyana, according to the IDB, come 2024. So here's what I love about this. All right, there you go. Here's what I love about this. It just shows, it says World Bank projected 38.2% growth rate for Guyana this year. This was on Newsroom, a government news site. But what I love about this is that it shows that not only are we still the fastest growing country in the world, But we are now one of the richest countries in the world per capita. Again, our little population of less than 1 million people. Where is the money? Where is the money? How come the people don't have any of it? How can salaries still be this low? Just so you know, oh my gosh, I probably didn't even say it because I didn't have a show. 6.5% is the raise that this government gave public servants 2023, 2024. 6.5%? We know for a fact the cost of living has gone up by 20%. At least. Where is the money? And then you got these big, oh geez, I didn't send it to the, I did not send it to the operator, but I saw they had a press conference. I think Gail Teixeira had Minister Teixeira had a press conference, and she said, if any of you claim that there's corruption, show me the evidence. Show me the evidence. And this is the PPP's supporters' favorite line. Why do you keep saying there's corruption? Where is it? Well, here. I had this conversation just yesterday, I think. It was so good because you know what one of the benefits are of such a small population is that information passes super quick because we're like a village. The whole country is like a village, meaning anything that happens in the country, whoa, buddy, whispers right away, and it goes through the grapevine quickly, very, very, very quickly. And what is phenomenal about this is the fact that we don't need proof because you don't let us see the books. We don't see anything. We can't go into a ministry right now and say, show us everything you have. Show us where, like you know how long we've been asking for the cash grant audits, the education audit, the COVID audit, the agriculture audit. Where are all those audits to prove the money has gone to the people? We can't get none of that information. You want us to prove it. And then they respond, prove it. Well, how I can prove it if you're not showing me any information? How can I prove it if you're not giving me the information? But the government, because they have a majority, they're allowed to tie that up in a little knot and hide it away, and we can never see it. This is madness. This is madness. We are the fastest growing economy in the world. We are the 10th richest country in the world per capita. How do we have this much poverty with less than 1 million people? Where is the money? I don't need to be an economist to tell you that this is not how the 10th richest country in the world per capita should be living. Okay? This figure should hurt Guyanese feelings. Where is the money? Are we living as good as people in the States? Do we have that standard of living? Can we pick up the phone and call the police? Can we go to the hospital right now and get tip-top care? The flipping hospital just come out with a figure that they are 400 to 600 nurses short. 400 to 600 nurses. Is this a joke? Because can we fathom the poor care and the poor management that's occurring? And I'm not even blaming the employees, you know, of the Public Hospital Corporation, because we know that they can only work with what they're given. These guys are not the decision makers. The CEO of Public Hospital is not the decision maker. Okay? He has to answer to the Minister of Health, who goes to Cabinet and answers to the President. This thing goes right from the top all the way down. Now I'm going to bring up another, I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to ask to bring up, it shows the average spending of education in comparison to these other countries. So can I please ask the operator to bring up that other little white chart that shows the average spending of the government on education in each of these countries, each of these 10 super rich countries. Here it is. I'm going to spin this around for you guys again. So here it is. All right. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right. Here's the same 10 countries. All right. All the way down. Guyana right at the bottom, number 10, 78,840 per capita GDP. And then we're only spending $1,342 per primary student, per student. And this can be done. Go to our budget. I think it was $92 billion was spent. divide it by $200, make it into US figures, and then divide it by the number of students in the country. And you know what I did here, just for argument's sake? I gave the country half the population. That's how I did it. Half of the population. I did 350,000 students, which is not true. All right? 350,000 students. All right? And that's the figure we came up with. Actually, I think it's a little, sorry, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually a little bit more. All right? And this it includes all expenditure. And here's what the joke is about our expenditure here. Our expenditure for education is that this includes infrastructure. All right? They talk about building, they put building the school, the actual school, into this number. Then look at the other United States, 14,000. All right? Even if I divided the 92 billion, right? Even if I divided the 92 billion by our entire 700,000 population, we still are not at 14,000. And then the next one, Norway, is on 15,000 US dollars per student. And then there's San Marino, 11. And it goes on and on. Then there's other countries like the Middle East that privatize. So what I'm saying to this is, where the hell is the money? How else do I argue this? Listen, I get worked up about this because this is our money. How is it that we have a government in place, the PPP government in place, and they have chosen to spend $1,400 per student for our education, probably the most important sector next to health and security? This doesn't make any sense. You guys still are arguing this? You guys still think that this government cares about you? Why? Why do you believe that? Because they're spending the money on you? Well, because you see 2 new road bill? All the roads that they've given away, contract to their friends and family, done, broken up, and they gotta go fix back again. So where is the money? Why are you guys still voting for the PPP? Don't get me wrong, the PNC ain't no better. Vote for anyone else. I keep saying this. This doesn't make any sense. You guys still feel cared about. Why? Because the president puts up pictures of him, what, shaking hands? Actually, please put up a picture of him during Christmas time, handing out charity. I just sent this to them, and this picture bothers me. Why are you posting up a picture here? Why are you on your own site posting up pictures of a child's face of you giving away gifts to these poor people? Like we owe you something, like you don't work for us. And coming and saying, look how great we are. We're giving away presents to little children and then posting them up. Posting the children's faces. Right? This is the kind of just stink publicity that everybody sits down with and is like, oh, our government cares about us. Shut up. Shut up. Like literally shut up. You mean the government cares? The government cares about posting pictures, giving poor people toys, giving poor children toys. That's what caring. And then spending $1,000 per capita on education. What are we talking about? Teachers are leaving this country. Wild West. Being paid, what, 6.5% increase? How are they going to teach our children? That's what caring governments do? Knowing cost of living raised by 20%, giving them 6.5% raise. That's what caring governments do? Knowing that they're paying the nurses, and the nurses leaving and the doctors leaving. 600 short, and they're leaving by the droves, heading to England, heading to Canada, who taking them with open arms. That's what caring governments do? Shut up. You sound like idiots now. It's 4 years. I'm not waiting anymore. We have a population of 700,000 people. This is a village anywhere else in the world. This is not a country. Any other country you travel to, 700,000 people is this. We've got them little towns in America with less than 1 million people. It's got like 3 sheriffs. Like the ones with the brown hats, just driving around their little cruiser, just like checking up on people, like eating donuts. It's not even considered anything. But yet this whole big country of 700,000 people is the 10th richest in the world per capita meaning per person. We suffering like dog, eh? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use my old adage. If you can't laugh, what are you gonna do? Cry? And you guys sit down here and claim that, oh, the government's doing a great job. A great job for who? Themselves? Because they're driving more fancy. Because every time a new Land Cruiser come out, they just drive the latest model. And then here's what bothers me too. Just for all your rich people out there. Y'all is get duty-free concession. Here was an even better one. They even sell back the last year models to y'all. They don't even give us that. Just for the people that got money. And y'all feel that the government care? No, you got a little bit of money and you quiet and not saying anything because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your little investment. Y'all are the useless ones. I could call y'all out straight. I was asked this question. During Christmas. Why are you in politics, Kian? Why? I don't need to be in politics. Timothy Jonas don't need to be in politics. You want to know the funny part? I'll probably make more money if I wasn't in politics. Because I got all this bad publicity that swirls around me. Every time I, walk on the wrong side of the road, it is going in newspapers. Look at this guy claiming to be a leader and doing this horrible thing, even though most of it is bullshit and lies. So, and then the people out there that read the media and think that everything is fact, they've created their own opinion. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'll take my blows. I'll take all of your bad and negative energy and negative opinions. It's not the end of the world. All right? Because I know at least I'm trying to do my part to make the country better. All of you guys that sitting there saying nothing and just judging and doing things. Oh, you really think your little one-time charity event can fix the country? No. You want to know the truth? You want to know what the budget is last year? It was way far back. I showed it on a program many months ago. You want to know how much money, the maximum amount of money that the government gives to charities? When I say charities, sorry, orphanages. I'm going to give it 2 seconds to sink in. In the 2023 budget, I want you to tell me what you think the average monthly subsidy for orphanages in Guyana was. Just the average. And anybody's free to check it. All right, free to check it. I'm going to tell you, because this is, again, what I do. How much money does the government give to orphanages per month? The average amount. Any guesses? The answer is 200,000 Guyana dollars. These orphanages could have 30, 40, 50 children inside. Okay? Go to any orphanage and ask. Okay? It will sink your heart to hear how these orphanages have to get funding. And hat off to the private community. Thank you guys for doing that little part. But guess what? It's not changing anything. Okay? It doesn't change the system. The biggest, 10th richest country in the world per capita, giving 200,000 Guyana dollars to the orphanages per month as subsidies to take care of all those children. And it's a lot of children. It's despicable. It's disgusting. And they go around claiming, look, and then they post pictures giving children look a toy. Oh my gosh, look, I'm such a caring government. Look at me handing this poor little child a toy. It's disgusting. And you people out there that defend it, like, oh, but he seems so nice. Then why is he not doing better for people? Why are all these people so poor and suffering? But you guys don't see through the bullshit at some point. Grow up, figure yourselves out. Be a good person. Stop arguing. Because the argument of, oh, but they're still better than APNU, I don't care. I don't care. We're over that. Right? Actually, here what? I'm going to call my friend out, right? I was watching my good friend, Mick's show, Guyanese critic show, a couple mornings ago. And him and I don't see eye to eye on every topic, but this topic here couldn't be more in agreement with him, all right? He said it was about the road deaths, all right? It was about deaths on the road. And, it has become sickening now. Sickening what's going on the road. And I know he agrees with this because that was a topic of conversation. It's just like we sit down there and we watch day after day, people being slaughtered on our road. It irks your heart because it's so close to home. It could be any of us. We could be driving home. I could leave here and it could be me. It could be my daughter coming home from school. Like, something has to be done. It's hurting us. It's hurting this nation. These are lost lives. These are lost Guyanese. Anyway, you know, he was talking about what's going on, and you know what the end result of why this is happening is because there's no enforcement of the laws. The laws exist. You can't speed, you can't drink and drive, you can't run a red light. You gotta stay within the regulations. You know, you gotta stop at stop signs. You can't overtake on a double line. But you know what? I know why these things are happening. Because the police are corrupt. Because the government is corrupt. They are not enforcing the laws. They exist. The laws are there. They exist. But no one is enforcing them. So it's a free-for-all. And welcome to PPP country. It's a free-for-all. Because all they care about is votes. And I'm going to tell you the topic that I agreed with Mick on. He sat down and he said, just so you understand, one of the topic he was talking about was that car that hit the pile of sand and flipped over and hit the medium and went into the other side of the traffic and killed like 2 people, or I think a 3rd person just died. It was so heartbreaking because there was a huge pile of sand. As soon as the person turned the corner, hit the shoulder, hit the sand, the car gone, and then killed multiple people. And you know why? You know what he spoke about? He spoke about the fact that that is even allowed, that sand even allowed to be there. And then he spoke about something even more interesting. He said, he was talking about the squatters. I think it was at Pleasance. That were supposed to be removed because they're encroaching on the road, which is a danger to drivers, right? And he said, you know what? They were supposed to be moved. They were moving them off, the vendors off the side of the road. And you know what happened? Barra Jagdeo himself picked up the phone and said, leave them there. And that, he said, is wrong, and I agree with him. And all Jagdeo doing is looking for votes, making sure he ain't troubling people, left them there because he won their votes. But they're dead there. People are dying because of it, and all you care about is your votes. Man, Bill, you got the money, build a nice building for them, do better, move them off the road, give them an opportunity for something better, upgrade them, and they will come off the road. But you only care about votes, Dr. Jagdeo, VP of our lovely land. All you care about is votes. You would rather people risk their lives and die because you want more votes. You want to make sure you don't lose votes. It's despicable. And that's all they care about. It's so heartbreaking what is going on. And let me pull up something else that you know, the PPP just keep it's almost like they over publicize themselves and they think that people are dumb. But this is for all the smart ones out there. And again, going back to what I said, it's the Nandalal Adiki, please pull it up for me. It's the Nandalal clip. There it is. It's just a simple picture. It's Anil Nandalal stating oh, my fingers are sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. There you go. Massive law revision should be completed before end of first quarter 2024. Then it says once the revision is completed, said that there will be public consultation and he's going to let everybody see it and then they can change the laws. Now, let me tell you why this is bullshit. Okay, let me tell you why this is bullshit. Because who cares what laws you put in place if no one is enforcing them? Is this hard to understand? One more time for all the PPP in the back. Who cares what laws you put in place and try to take credit for, like if you're doing something great, if there is no one to enforce them? Then it's just lip service. Oh, guys, perfect. Here's the other one. Please bring up the other clip for them now. The one where the president said he's considering putting in limiters on the vehicles. Please pull that one up. That one is one of my favorites. This one actually got me angry. I posted about it. The president said that he is considering putting in limiters on sand trucks and minibuses so that they so that they can be control their speed. This man literally, they literally wrote that it may happen. So what else are you writing it for? What are we even saying it for? Here it is. You guys get to see my face up close. There it is. Road accidents is the topic. Special device to limit speed buses, trucks may be mandatory. Just so you can understand, just so you see it, may be mandatory. A governor general limiting vehicles control the speed of machines. I keep going. Look at the top right there. May be compulsory. What do you mean may be compulsory? Why? You tell me. Other than you trying to make yourself seem good, why would you write maybe? Tell me for a fact. I want anybody, even your PPP people out there, tell me why it's not put in place already. You tell me why anybody on the road needs to go more than the speed limit. And I actually, if you guys are road users like me and you guys try to monitor the speed limits, in certain areas, you will very clearly see that some of them are actually really reasonable. 60, or I think the fastest is probably the Suzdijk Highway, I think is 100, or parts of it is even 80. But other than that, most of Georgetown is 60 kilometers an hour. We need more speed than that for. As a matter of fact, traffic will flow better if all of us were traveling 60 kilometers an hour. So my question to you is, why would you write a headline that it may be mandatory? Just put it in place. People are dying. You're telling me that, again, this is the same thing Jagdio doing. Oh, I don't want to go out too hard and make a rule and then I lose votes and people get vexed with me because the sand trucks can't reach down fast in time. That's all they're doing. Literally, that's all they're doing. They're just trying to make sure they don't lose votes. So let me feel it out first. No, think about the people's lives before you think about your friggin' votes. How about that? If you're such a caring government and you go and you hug up people and you shake everybody's hand, but you don't care about their life? Them same people you're hugging up don't got travel in minibus. If you care about them so much, why not put them in a minibus that could only travel 60 kilometers an hour? Why would the minibus need to travel faster? See? Simple logic. Simple logic. It goes right back to the same conversation of the economy, and we're now the 10th richest country in the world according to our GDP per capita, but yet you only spend $1,000 on education, less on health. It's despicable. You can't claim you care about people and got people living in these conditions. What are we talking about here? At some point in time, Guyanese got to start smartening up and understand that we have to start looking out for ourselves, and the way we do that is to change our vote. Vote different. Okay? If your life has not gotten any better, which is the vast majority of the country, we are still voting for them for. Because if Riken AP and you go back in power, no. You want to know what the truth is? You want to know why we're in these problems? It's because there's no accountability. Full stop. There is no accountability. Okay? These parties like the PPP and APNU previously go in and they have a majority in parliament. They can pass any law they want at any time. I always like to hammer that statement home. Guys, just a public service announcement. If the government is in power with a majority in parliament, like the PPP are now, they can pass any law they want. Because there's nobody to say no. Even if I disagree with it, I can't say no. ANUG is in parliament, we can't say no. APNU is in parliament, they can't say no because the PPP have the majority. So when you sit down there and you hear them say, oh, don't worry, we're working on it, we're looking at it. No, if it was a priority, it would be done already. Always keep this in mind. With them, also with spending and money, they don't have to pass money by nobody. They can literally spend every single dollar and nobody can say no. That's what a majority has given them. So if you see things not happening, it's because they are choosing for it not to happen. Not because there's red tape. The government doesn't have to deal with the red tape. They can do anything they want. Okay? Let me make that clear one more time. The government with a majority can do anything they want whenever they want. So when he says, maybe we may be putting limiters on the cars, he can just do it. He can literally just pass the order. They can have their parliament on Monday. They can literally just say, put limiters on the vehicles. Okay? How about animals? How about the stray animals? Animal cruelty. How about giving people prison sentences? How about, taking horse carts off the road? Whatever your passion is, and what you believe in. And obviously we all believe in no animal cruelty. They can pass these laws if they want. Okay? They can give GPSC, the government funded animal protection services. They can give them more money if they want. They can give the orphanages more money if they want. This is not hard, guys. Like, I don't know why anybody like doesn't understand this or can't see through this, can't see through the bullshit now. It's right there. It's glaring at you. Like, for example, the oil workers, right? Do you not see the huge disparity in what oil workers are paid, the local oil workers are paid to what the foreigners are paid? Why? Why is a local engineer paid less than a foreign engineer? Because of less experience? Bullshit now. It's been years. Anybody working in the industry can see it, and they speak about it all the time, but obviously, they can't do anything about it because they are at the mercy of the companies. How is the government allowing the oil companies to pay local engineers doing the exact same job as the foreign engineers less money? It doesn't make any sense. Or operators, or any job for that matter in the oil industry. Why are locals paid less? Okay, let's talk about another aspect. What about business owners? How come foreign companies can come in and get duty-free concessions, get tax exemptions, get, land that they've actually applied for? Because we all have and we ain't get nothing. How can foreigners come in and get it so quickly and easily? Driving big fancy vehicles and we was stuck to these same shitty vehicles. Like, this is, you don't see that the locals are treated as second-class citizens here? The foreigners are given more than us? And you guys still think this government cares about you? Why? Because he posts a picture hugging up a poor child that he given a gift to? Oh my God, he loves us. Then why are they poor in the beginning to begin with if they love us so much? Because they got enough money. They got $78,000 per capita. That poor child ain't need a road. How about you take some of the money? The budget is going to be easily over $1 trillion. Let's use a little bit of logic. If they've spent so much money on infrastructure up to this point, and the place is still garbage. We got 3 new roads to talk about? Big roads? What are we talking about here? We don't even have the capacity to do the work. So where is the money going? We don't even have enough companies to do the amount of work. So why are we spending that much money still? Where is it going? What are we talking about? Give it to the teachers and the doctors and the nurses and the police, and train the police better and make sure they're not as corrupt. Give them something to be proud of. Good training, better benefits, and more money. And then they're going to stop being corrupt. Then the ones that are corrupt, we can just shift them out because all of a sudden they get fired, and the ones that are actually legit, they're not going to be corrupt because they want to keep their job. Take care of their children. Do something better for the people of this country. That's my hope. And we got budget coming up and everybody's super duper excited about budget. let me break this one down for you. You guys want to know why everyone is so excited about budget? Because they're waiting to see what little freck they can get for their lives to be better, because that's how bad their lives are. If our lives were good, we wouldn't care about the budget. Our lives are good. I don't care how much money you spend, and just, we can monitor our taxes, make sure, change it too much. But people look at the budget and we get so excited about budget here because that's how poor we are. Oh God, please let his budget got, less taxes. Please let it raise my pay. Please let me get duty-free concessions for vehicles to bring us so I can upgrade my life. That's how we are, like beggars. Like beggars. Guyanese like beggars. Oh God, budget. I need money. Please, budget. Budget, we love you. And the government is, look at how great we are. We giving you back your money. let me make my old saying. The government has no money. Okay? The government has no money. All the money that they spend already belong to the people. You guys get that, right? The government has $0. Anything the government gives you is already your money. So they just giving you back your money. Every road they build and take a picture. Look, we built a new road. Look what we've done for you. You didn't do it for us. That's our money. We gave you the money to do it. You're not helping. I don't need to praise you for doing your job. You asked me to vote you in, and now you want me to praise you? What was this, kindergarten? Oh, you colored a pretty picture? Oh, wonderful. Oh, you made a little Play-Doh, a little Lego? Oh my gosh, you're so talented. You do understand that I don't need to, you're not a child. I don't need to praise you. Do your job. Make our lives better. Oh, look at us. Budget is coming. Here is how much we love you, Guyanese. Here is your budget. Here is money. It's our money already. Shut up. On that note, budget is coming up on Monday, and I'm going to make sure we have an amazing show on Friday, because by that time we have lots of time to analyze. Let's hope we get more than 6.5% money. Let's hope they figure out ways to, I have a recommendation. I have a request for the budget, and I know that the government listens to these shows. I know they do, because they respond all the time. I would like to ask the government to get rid of PAYE. Sorry if you didn't hear that. I would like to ask the government to get rid of PAYE. We are now the 10th richest country in the world per capita. You don't need to take my little freck, the little bit of money you're paying me, and take out 30% of it, because I need to pay as I earn. Because that's what PAYE stands for. Pay as you earn. What are paying for? For the government to make investments? Well, guess what? You got enough money from the oil already to do it. I don't need to be paying PAYE. And guess what? I'm even willing to say it publicly. When the oil runs out or the oil price drops, bring it back. Bring it back. Okay? But for now, we are earning plenty money. More money than God, according to Biden. Okay? I don't need to pay PAYE. I could keep more of my money in my pocket. And the only reason you wouldn't be doing that is because you're actively trying to keep the people poor. Is that what's happening? Are you actively trying to keep Guyanese poor? Because we don't need PAYE. Okay? How about you take some of the money and dump it into NIS and raise everybody's pensions? How about that? What is pension right now? $25,000 a month? What are they giving poor people? Old people. What's senior citizens pension? 20-something thousand dollars a month. It's something embarrassing. Oh, and I always love this part. I always do me a favor, this budget, guys. Just use a little bit of critical thinking. Always look at the government whenever they're doing these budgets or like giving the people like a raise or whatever. Always look at, they always choose whether to show you the percentage or the actual physical number, depending on which one is more. So for example, they raised the pension from like 18,000 to 25,000. And they were like, look, we gave them 20% raise in old age pension. 20%, never done before. And I'm sitting there going, but that's only $5,000. Why you didn't just write, I give them $5,000? It's extremely funny. So always try to pay attention. Do the calculation. When they show you a percentage, do the calculation of how much money that actually equates to. Oh, look, we give them 6.5%. Do the calculation on 100,000. I think the average, let's call it the average salary of public servants is what, 150? 6.5% of that is what? $1,000? If 100,000, 6.5%, sorry, $6,000, then then it's maybe $8,000 or $9,000, and then you still need to tax that. So you gave public service for a whole year. You gave them, take out 30% of that because you're making us pay PAYE from it. So take out 30% of my $9,000 is $3,000. So you're giving the people $6,000 raise per year. Average public servant, $6,000 Guyana dollars extra. Those $6,000 extra a month could give anybody. And then they can say, oh, look, but it equals $30 billion back into the economy for spending power. Shut up. It's like these economists that talk about the GDP and why guy, and you should say poor. You don't understand how GDP is work, You don't understand. And because you don't understand that people need to stay poor. Don't worry with the GDP. Don't mean people should be rich. Why? Why doesn't it mean that? And then when you look at them and say, yeah, it kind of does. If the country's earning more, the people should be earning more. And then they say, no, well, you gotta wait. And I'm like, 700,000 people? 700,000 people? What were we waiting for? 4 more years? Whoa, no, the campaign promises are coming. Here they come, guys. We in 2024, elections is 2025. Trust me. All of them, APNU and PPP, watch them. Trust me. After 2025, y'all life gonna be great. Trust me. After 2025, y'all life gonna be great. We have all of these plans come 2025 and beyond. 2025 to 2030, this will be a different country. You told us that pre-2020. You told us that from 2020 to 2025. I'm still waiting for the great country. Stop with the bullshit. Guys, open up your eyes a little bit. All right? I think on that note, my ramblings are more than enough for the first show of the year. All right, I am going to be back here next Friday after budget. We're gonna have a long, exciting chat. All right, but on the note, I am going to say to Guyanese, please be very careful out there on the roads. Okay, it is getting more and more dangerous. Okay, I know that it's not always your fault. Like that pile of sand was not that driver's fault. He should have enough space that if he has to swerve from something or something happens, he shouldn't have an obstruction like that right on the road. All right, that is so sad. And you guys need to be careful. All right, I read a meme and it says, this year we need to be heavy on the be safe. All right, Guyana is becoming more and more dangerous. This is the great country that they told us to look forward to if we voted them in, the PPP. Well, be safe out there because this is the PPP government and they're running this country and the country is not safe. All right, please be careful, guys. All right, be careful out there. All right, I know it's a weekend, not a long weekend, it's a weekend. And I know everybody has to blow off some steam, but just do it with a little bit of consideration for everyone else. All right, on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is aPOLITICALLY Incorrect. My name is Kian Jabour. I will be back here next Friday for budget conversation to hear how much money they gave us to make sure we're not poor anymore because the country ain't poor. I just hope I don't need to be poor anymore. On that note, take care, guys. Have a great weekend.